Good morning, guys. So this is Alicia from LBCC Historical, and this morning I thought what we would do is just have some coffee talk, because there's a few things that I want to go over with you guys and just let you know what we're working on. So it's going to be a short video unless you have a whole bunch of questions and you want to chat, which I'm cool with that too. So yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to just briefly talk about is our upcoming shows, and we will keep you guys updated on the LBCC Historical business page where it says upcoming events. You'll always be updated with our shows there. So our next show right now is in Kalamazoo, and it is March 18th. So that's the day the show starts, is March 18th. So that means that we have to leave before that day. So normally we either leave like on a Thursday or Friday. And so if you want your orders out, it's best to get them in as soon as possible. And the other thing I wanted to briefly talk about is an event coming up like Wednesday. So Wednesday is my birthday, and we are planning on taking a short little vacation so we can celebrate that, and then we will be back. But so Wednesday and Thursday and maybe even Friday, you know, if we don't answer emails, that's because we're out on a little vacation celebrating my birthday. Also, my adoption day is in March as well, so we kind of combine those two events. And we've been so busy with the Apothecary lately that we don't really get out very much. So I think as much as I totally forgot it was my birthday. Thank you, Kristen. As much as I totally forgot it was my birthday, my parents called and said they were going to come and hang out with my grandparents, which I think is really important because, you know, I'm already, I'm turning 36 or something like that. And so, you know, I'm really blessed to be able to still have my grandparents around. So I think that's kind of important. And then we're going to actually leave on Wednesday. So today's Monday. We're going to leave on Wednesday, and we're going to do some birthday and adoption celebrations. So if you guys send emails or get orders, things like that, you know, if you don't hear from me, it's not because I'm trying to ignore you. It's because I want to take a couple days off and take a little relaxation and celebrate. What else? So what's up with you guys lately? Anything exciting? Anything exciting? What was I gonna say? Oh, we have a couple things for the shop that we're gonna get put up, and let me show you. So when I don't know, the light is kind of really bizarre. This is the kitchen, which is under remodel at the moment. So whenever we come across like historical boxes, we try and get them, and then we make like little things for you guys and put them up in the shop. So we have a few more of them. This one it looks like a Regency box. Actually, no, I don't know who put this one together. I didn't put this one together, so we'll have to kind of revamp that. But we will have some little boxes like this up. They don't last very long when we put them up. This one is all inlaid with various stones, precious stones and wood, and they tend to be old, quite old. So one of the other things that I think is uber cool, because we don't get them very often, so when we do get them, you have to kind of jump on them. So it may take me a while to get them up. They'll be up after my birthday. But we do have 2 more Bordeleus. I don't know, the light is just there. 2 more Bordeleus. So do you guys know what the Bordeleus are? Kristen, so the price range for the boxes, basically what we do for them is we price out the product inside the box, and then we charge very little for the box itself, or we try to charge very little for the box itself, depending on how we how much we had to pay to get the box, but we try to give you guys the best deal that we can. So normally it's just these items in here that you're paying for, and then just a little teeny tiny bit for the box. And normally these boxes are worth quite a bit of money. So yeah, we won't charge you guys for the boxes. So those will be up. And then do you guys know what these are? I don't know. At all? My mug this morning is from J. Henderson Artifacts. So if you're looking for pottery, those are some awesome people to go to. Kristen knows. These are Bordeleus. These are the historical women's potties. And if you don't have one for your reenacting, you should get one. They're super handy. You basically, instead of having to go to the porta-john all the time, you can do the historical method where you would need a, oh, I hear Patrick. You would need a chamber pot, but then this piece right here gets put underneath your legs, and then you can just pour the contents into the chamber pot. But it's super duper handy. I know, kind of awkward when you come in and we're like talking about Bordeleus. Yeah, they're super duper handy to have. We don't get them very often, so snatch them up when you see them in the shop. Here, I'll put that over there. And what else? We are out of quite a few things in the shop right now. I'm doing my best to keep up with it. We will get things restocked as soon as possible. And for sure after...
Well, foggy.
I know, I don't know. It's this really weird light in here. It told me I didn't have enough light, so I brought extra light in, but then that light didn't work, so I turned it off.
This is not enough light.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. We got weird light going on, so what was I gonna say? Oh, so certain things are out, but we are going to get them back in stock as soon as possible. The lamb tallow that we use, it took me a while to get it because we actually use the original lamb tallow company that was used in the mid to late 19th century. So it took me a while to get it back in stock, but we do have it. So now I can restock the Civil War lip tint and a couple other things. And what else? I don't know, do you think we have anything important to add?
Oh, I wasn't listening. I don't know, coffee talk this morning.
We have 3 joining us for coffee talk.
3? Oh.
Yeah, 4. Now it's 4.
Well, I'm going to be crazy and I'm going to make a, we're going to have a filet.
Not for breakfast, I hope.
Oh yeah, for breakfast we're having a filet.
No, we're not.
We're going to have crab cakes and poached eggs.
What?
Dum, dum,
People don't eat that stuff for breakfast, Patrick.
Some have been wanting to do something crazy.
I guess we're gonna have
lobster and eggs.
Oh boy. I guess we're gonna have crazy breakfasts. So the kitchen is under renovation right now. As you can see, we have the new cabinets behind us. They're IKEA cabinets. And
countertops show up next week.
Countertops show up next week. So after we get the kitchen done, we hope to be able to bring you guys some like LBCC cooking shows because we really love to cook and we're always doing like gourmet cooking. I don't know what Gordon Ramsay would say. He'd be cool with it. I think he would like our style. So hopefully we'll bring you guys some cooking recipes, cooking shows, and maybe we can get something out of some of the recipe books upstairs. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about anything or not? Or I'm here to answer questions.
Do I have any questions? Did you tell them what's happening Wednesday?
I did tell them what's happening Wednesday. Yep. So if you have questions or want to get your orders in, get them in today so we can get them shipped out because we will be leaving. I didn't tell them where we were going to go. Should I tell them where we're going to
go?
Sure. So for my birthday, we're going to go hang out at the casino, which I find very exciting. I like all the bright lights and the noises that are all around in the casino. And they have this really cool...
Ho-Chunk Casino, the big one.
The big one, yeah. They have this really cool, like 3D Egyptian game that I'm kind of addicted to, and I really, really. Okay, yeah. Every time we go, which is not very often, but every time we go, I have to play that game. So yeah, I'll be excited. Hopefully, they still have it there. The last time we went was for New Year's Eve, but things were under construction, so it wasn't very exciting. Kirsten says she's got a Regency ball coming up. Any ideas for hair and makeup? Yeah, you know, we are...
Regency do.
We are... Thank you, Patrick. We are currently working on Jane Austen festivities, and so it's interesting you asked that question because Regency has been on my mind lately. I don't know, you know, how short your hair is or how long it is. I'm assuming it's probably like either this length or longer. But what I like to do with my Regency hair is, if I have, like right now I have that, cause my hair is kind of short right now. So I have the ability to put the ringlets on the sides. And then I like to, usually wear a turban, but if you're in a ball, you probably want to, not wear a turban. So what I would do is I would section off a piece of your hair, you know, for your bun, but then I would leave strands down and I would twist them and then kind of wrap them around in just a really cool fashion. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I would do. I don't know, did you have any ideas or do you have any questions about like specifics? No, I got a whole bunch of eggs out.
Oh, I was like, I didn't buy any eggs.
For makeup, you know, I would just keep it really simple. I would put on some any sort of 18th century lip rouge that we have would work. We have the one 19th century, you know, Regency lip rouge. I think that would work. Just keep it simple. Put it on your cheeks, kind of like from here down on your cheeks and on your lips. And also, you can wear mascara if you want to wear mascara, or our kohl in our shop, because that would be historical. Make sure to darken your eyebrows. You know, like I say, mine are always kind of thin. Regency girls would not have had such thin eyebrows. But yeah, just keep it really simple and really natural, and I think you should be good to go. The best thing to do with your curls when you're putting your curls in would be to, you're going to pomade your hair, right? You're going to put some pomade in and you're going to put your curl in. And then after you take it out of the curling iron, I would just pin the curl up there and let it dry, or, you know, wait till it's cool, because that will help set the curl in if it doesn't have to like hang there while it's still hot. That'll help keep your curls tight. Yeah. Does that help a bit? Curl size, good question. Curl size would be small barrel. You know, it's kind of funny because not that I like peruse the curling iron section a lot in stores, but what I have seen is kind of really different than when I grew up. We used to have like really small curl barrel sizes, and now I'm not really seeing that. So I'm sure maybe if you go to a place like Sally's, they would have a small barrel curling iron, but you know, I don't know, mine's upstairs right now. But the smallest one that you can find, I think, is good. You know, small to medium, stay away from the large.
The tinies are really tough, though.
Well, not the tinies. We're
Hannah
not.
was just griping about not being able to find one.
Who was?
Hannah.
Yeah, but she was talking for these little spindles up here. For the little spindles up here for like Victorian, and I suppose Regency, you need like the teeny tiny size that you can only find in the antique stores. But if you're gonna do the side curls, you know, just a small barrel to a small medium, I would stay away from the medium and the large. And you can even pin curl them or put them in curlers, in the foam curlers. When I set my hair overnight, the foam curlers I use are either, like, I have black ones and light blue ones that are the small size, the really small size. And then I think it's yellow and greens that are the medium size, and then pinks are the largest. So I always try and wrap with the small ones, depending on how fluffy I want those sides. So definitely, you know, your fronts, you would wrap in the small size, which is the blues and the blacks. At least for me, they're blues and blacks. And then for like the pieces right here, you want to wrap in the medium size if you have long hair, which would be the yellows and the greens.
Keep forgetting stuff. Crab cakes are coming along. Who wants to come over and help eat? Crab cakes with hollandaise sauce and
By the time you get this done, it's gonna be.
Fillet.
I can't believe you're making this for
Poached
breakfast.
eggs.
Oh my god! If you guys haven't met Patrick, he is absolutely crazy. He's super fun, but you just never know what he's got up his sleeve. So. I see you bought yourself a Krispy Kreme cherry pie.
It jumped in the cart.
Oh, Kirsten says it feels like it's just you and I sitting here for coffee.
And me.
Heaven forbid we leave Patrick out. That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I think this would be really fun to have coffee talk once in a while with you guys. That way I'm here on hand to just chat. She says, yes, you too, Patrick. Yeah, that way I'm here to chat if you guys have questions versus like sending me emails. I can tell you right now that I have a lot of emails to respond to. We have a lot of emails and a lot of shipping. So shipping, let's talk about shipping for just a second. So we ship every day except every business day. That's correct terminology? Every business day. Yeah. So we do not ship on Saturdays and Sundays. And on Fridays, you know, we will ship the orders that come in while we're packaging shipping. So if your order doesn't make it, you know, out on Friday, that means you missed the deadline for us. We already took the shipping in. So yeah, so we ship on the business days every day and just not on the weekends. And the same thing with emails. I try to answer emails as soon as they come in. But every once in a while, especially on the weekends, I just don't get to them. You know, we try to kind of sort of take the weekends off, if at all possible, even if that just means like hanging out and watching videos and try to rest or
building stuff.
Oh yeah, no, we're doing a lot. I mean, we're building things, and I think my nose is runny from the coffee. So this summer, as you guys know, we're like avid antiquers, and it's kind of cool because when we travel to all these different states, we sometimes, if we're not too exhausted, we get to go out and we get to check on all the antiques and see what stuff we can find for you guys and what stuff we can find for the house. And this summer, though, we're going to change it up a bit. We are going to not go to as many antique stores, and instead we're going to take our metal detectors with us and see if we can do some more metal detecting, because we want to become detectorists, because we're going to find buried treasure. Have you guys ever done any metal detecting?
Not. There's very few dorks in the world.
We are dorks, but we are proud. We are proud of it. So yeah, so less antiquing, more metal detecting, and hopefully we can find some buried treasure.
I'm putting mushroom stems in the crab cakes too, chopped up.
Why are you putting mushroom stems in the crab cakes?
Because it's just cool. Onions, mushroom stems, Italian breadcrumbs, an egg, a little Worcestershire.
I think if we gave Patrick his own channel for cooking shows, he would be cooking nonstop. Pretty much.
Is anyone even still there?
Yeah, we got 5 tuning in.
Oh.
Yeah, so again, you guys, we're here. We're just answering questions. We're just hanging out. If you... Kirsten says it sounds yummy. Yes, you are more than welcome to come over. You are more than welcome to come over for food at any point. We always have lots of food and lots of cooking going on.
We'll have the kitchen will be finished.
Wow.
Shortly after Kalamazoo.
That's pretty ambitious of you.
Okay, well, maybe not finished. It'll be completely usable. We still have a lot of tiling and painting to do, but the kitchen will be usable.
Yeah, right now we have, as you can see, Patrick's making everything bounce with his stirring. As you can see, we have the cabinets in, we have the floor in. It would be a long drive, but you know, like if you ever get really crazy someday, you just pop on over. We have spare bedrooms and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, so the floor is put in, and we did this really cool floor. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know. I'm afraid to move the thing. I might not get it back. But it's really cool. It's like the brand of the floor was something like Old Castle something. And
Castle Cone.
Yeah, and it's like these really old looking oak planks.
Wide plank, just beat the crap flooring.
Yeah, and so it looks like something that would have been in like an old castle or like in an old, you know, house of some sort. Like, it's just really cool. So that's our flooring. It's already got like gouges and stuff in it. It's made
from the factory.
Yeah, it's made to look worn. And then we have a lot of windows. We have huge windows, which is why all this light is coming in.
We have 5 kitchen windows.
Yeah, we have 5 huge kitchen windows. So what we need to do yet, kitchen-wise, is we're waiting for the countertops. We need to like paint all the windowsill. Is that the trim in the windows? And then we're tiling the whole kitchen. So if you guys can think of like Downton Abbey's kitchen or like an Edwardian Victorian kitchen, we're doing all the white subway tile. They're like
all the way to the top
yay
of the
big.
windows. I can't believe that thing won't show them around.
Well, it will, but
Can you hand me a paper towel?
I don't even know where the paper towels
Right
are,
here.
honey.
It's right here. Right there, honey. See.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'll
Probably
get it.
need more than
Well, you have to go get some because you're all messy. We also have a really cool stove that like when you watch cooking shows, those are the stoves that the people have in the cooking shows. Like it's got like a griddle and a grill and your gas burners and like 2 ovens and stuff like that.
We got it for a song. We're not rich.
No, we're not rich. No, we're just good deal shoppers. But yeah, eventually we're gonna have a party, and then Kristen, you'll have to drive from Nova Scotia.
Oh hell yeah!
And you'll have to come and hang out with
I
our.
almost bought a place in Nova Scotia.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? It was like a
It was an Orvis Fly Shop fishing destination deal.
Patrick, years ago, Patrick almost bought like an Orvis fly shop in Nova Scotia. He was gonna run that. So, small world. I totally forgot about that.
I should have been working on the hollandaise sauce already, but I forgot. And I was worried I didn't have enough eggs.
Well, you have a whole stack over
I
there.
kind of forgot how to make it, though. I need a refresher on that.
Julie says like an AGA, question mark. Do you know what that is? An AGA?
What?
AGA?
Aga. Oh, what?
Julie, I wish I knew what that was, but I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
AGA what?
AGA. She says like an AGA. I don't know what AGA is.
Oh.
She'll let us know though, I'm sure. And then
Angry
Angry
Gordon Ramsay. AGR. Blank.
Hannah says I'm waiting.
Hannah?
No,
Oh.
no, a different Hannah. Hannah says I'm waiting to visit a friend in Cincinnati. We were thinking of coming to Jane Austen Festival. What should I know about it? Not to change the subject. No, that's cool. We can change the subject.
Don't get fussy if there's some historical inaccuracies.
The Jane Austen Festival is uber awesome. If you guys can make it, you should make it. And there's only like 2. So there's one in Bath and there's one in Louisville, Kentucky. And
Locust Grove.
in Locust Grove, and every year it's like this Julie says a big British stove. Yeah, I'll have to before we leave, I'll bring you guys over there so you can see it. And then Kristen says her husband's deep into fly fishing. That is why, I'll get back to the Jane Austen Festival. That is why we have the mayfly as our, like historically it was at the sign of something something. And it was so people who were illiterate or couldn't read, they would at least be able to see the signs up on the, in front of the shops. And so you would say, for us, you would say at the sign of the golden mayfly in the mortar and pestle. Or did I, at the sign of the mortar, yeah. At the sign of the golden mayfly in the mortar and pestle. So for us, when you come to our shop, we have this big wooden mortar and pestle, and then we have like a golden mayfly in it. And we chose the mayfly because Patrick loves fly fishing.
I used to fly fish in Colorado and New Mexico all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't get to fly fish much now because we work a lot. We work a lot, you guys.
But it's fun.
It's fun, yeah. I totally wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love what I do. I love connecting with you guys. Okay, so back to the Jane Austen Festival. So yeah, there's two of them. There's one in Bath, one in Louisville at Locust Grove, and they're always in competition every year to see who can break the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, I know.
Yes, they are.
Book, you dork.
What is it? Guinness Book of World
just
Records.
To see who can come up with the biggest attendance.
Yes, but it is for the Guinness Book of World Records, though.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, it is. Don't listen to Patrick. He doesn't know.
I'll contest that one until I hear it from the officials.
Yeah, and Lily would like to point out that the historical accuracy comment is a good comment to live by for any sort of event, because you just never know.
Yeah, they're yeah.
It's
well,
not.
Yeah, I guess that's
the
right.
The thing about the Jane Austen Festival is that it's not about. I mean, for some people, it's about historical accuracy. For other people, it's just Janeites. Like if you're a Janeite, all you want to do is dress up in cool Janeite clothes and hang out, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And it's going to be hot. Be prepared for heat.
Yeah, we love to see what you guys are all wearing. And
morning. Gotta remember that.
And just because, we are big into historical accuracy doesn't mean we care if you guys are. We do our thing, you guys do your thing, and if we're here to help if you guys have questions, but we're not those people who judge people just because they're not wearing something historically accurate. That's stupid. Everybody is in their own kind of path as to how historically accurate they want to be or learning. We all started everywhere. If you guys would see some of my first stuff, you'd be like, wow, that's pretty crazy. It is going to be hot at the Jane Austen Festival, so
remind them about the morning.
Yes, I will. Do you remember, was it 90, 80, 90?
Oh yeah, it was mid to upper 90s.
It was last year it was mid to upper 90s.
And humid.
So, when you're thinking about your attire for Jane Austen, which this year is mourning, so it's kind of special because we're celebrating the 200th year of Jane's death. So everybody should attempt to do some sort of mourning.
There's one more thing.
Can I just talk here?
No, you can't. I gotta butt in. If they want to be counted against a bath, they have to have a parasol and was it a parasol and a reticule?
No.
They don't count the gate. They count the parade.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with what you're wearing. You have to be in historical costume, and that's it.
No, you have to have a reticule. Then you can't walk without it.
I don't know what he's saying, so.
That's because you were busy, and I heard him talking about it, and I was like,
all right. Well, we would actually have to look that up. So don't
were buying them from us for the parade.
Don't take that to heart, because we would have to look that up. So you would get counted if you're in historical costume. Now Bath has these, when you're in Bath, they have these crazy rules that you have to abide by in order to be counted for the Guinness Book of Records for the Jane Austen tons. We have a few rules too, and I'm not sure what they are. I think it's just that, now Patrick has other ideas as to what they are, but that's really loud. I think that you just have to be dressed in some sort of Jane Austen costume. So it doesn't have to be, completely historically accurate. You also need to have some sort of mourning because we're mourning. So I'm not proficient in the whole mourning thing. Yeah, that's a good question. Lily wants to know if you even know what a ridicule is.
Yeah, we someone.
Oh! Yeah, but that's not it.
It's the little bags, like the little purse-ish sort of thing, round. You pull the little things shut on top.
Impressive. Yeah. Did you hear that, Lily? He actually kind of does know it already.
Girl, I sell makeup.
Oh, did you hear him? He goes, girl, I sell makeup. So, you're so funny. So yeah, so they're gonna like, do the whole thing in order to be counted. Yeah, she says high five, way to go. You have to do some sort of mourning. So let's just talk about mourning for quickly, just so you kind of get an idea if you're looking to put together an outfit. Now, there's various stages of mourning, various colors of mourning. Obviously black, everybody thinks of black. There's purple for half mourning. You don't have to be in complete black to show that you're mourning. For us, now, because I don't think I'll be having time to make a completely new outfit, especially for Patrick too, we will do what we did last year, because for our merchants group, our historical merchants group, we were in mourning for maybe half of this season. And we had, the men had black armbands to show that they were mourning, and then the women had like black ribbon made into rosettes, or some sort of black ribbon that we wore. And then Lily wants to point out that the black armband was acceptable during certain points of Victorian era for men. So that's kind of handy that we have those.
Yeah, I have that.
So that's what we will be doing for our mourning.
Because we watched the person from our
yeah. And then I'm going to probably wear like a black fichu or a black neckerchief. And if I have like a breast knot or something, it'll probably be black. So just small things that show that even though we are not, completely in full black, that we still are mourning. I'm going to scroll up here.
Seriously, need butter. I need butter.
Did you not get butter? I don't know, because remember I said I think we might be out of butter.
No.
Uh-oh. We might be out of butter.
This ain't cool.
So Hannah says she wants to meet us, and I would like to meet you too. I want to meet all of you.
And she's from?
Hannah, where are you from again? Was it Nova Scotia?
Oh,
no, I don't remember. No, that was Kristen. Kristen's from Nova Scotia. Hannah says it would be a cool event to attend. I've never been to a historical festival. There isn't any around me. Yeah, it's really weird because some areas are really saturated. Hannah lives in Colorado, Nebraska.
Yep.
Patrick.
Sports are a little more rendezvous.
Patrick said that yeah, they're kind of spaced out and they don't really have very much going on.
Yeah, Ben's Fort would be their closest.
He said Ben's Fort. I don't know anything about that. Okay, so let's see it. Where Lily says, I have to press that more. Lily says, it's actually people like you who inspire me. I love studying history and fashion and living in particular. I haven't gotten my niche quite yet, and I hope to do something like what you guys do one day. And Kentucky is sweltering nightmare.
Yeah. It
is true. It is true. So when you prep for Jane Austen, make sure that I'm like talking louder over
noise.
Make sure that your materials that you're prepping for are natural fibers, linens, cottons. You could wear wool, but even a summer weight wool would be kind of toasty. Even though wool kind of wicks away things, so if that's cool, not all wools are necessarily hot. But fine sheer fabrics are really good. Lightweight, natural material. So think about that when you're putting together your Regency ensemble. Hannah says 30 minutes from Nebraska. I see it down the road. Plus I have what harvest in summer.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
That's cool, so she knows where Ben's Fort is.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of there's a lot of people that travel. Like this is what they do now. If we didn't have the shop, wheat harvest. She says wheat harvest, not what harvest.
Oh, wait, what?
A wheat. So she's got the wheat harvest in the summer.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the Colorado weed harvest.
Okay, ignore that. So it's interesting because now if we didn't have the Etsy shop, we could.
It would not be so much fun.
No, well, no, of course we would. But if we didn't have the Etsy shop, we could actually travel from event to event all season long. And come wintertime for us, there's events in places like Florida that we could go. So we could run the circuit constantly if we wanted to, just traveling all around the U.S. And I love traveling. I love doing like the whole gypsy thing, living out of my tent. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. But
I love getting home.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So you get there. Some places that you set up your shop, your historical shop, they don't let you come in but a day before. And so now we kind of have it down to a I'll have to point that comment out to you. I'm not going to read it.
Who's that from?
Hannah, she comments on your comment.
Oh, that's funny.
I actually have, okay, yeah, we won't go there. Okay, so.
We were in Colorado last year.
So, what was I saying? Oh, so some of these places only let you come in like a day before. And so if you can imagine, you know, you're traveling like 3 or 4 hours on the road. You're up early in the morning to get there because you have to get there early in the morning, and then you have to set up. You have like 1 day to set up your shop. And if you've seen our shop, a lot of people they just like set tables out and like throw stuff on their tables and they're done, and that's their shop. And we took a different approach to it. We want, when you guys walk in our shop, our historical traveling apothecary, we want you to actually feel like you stepped into a real historical apothecary, like you stepped into a Williamsburg apothecary, you stepped into, you know. So we travel with big furniture, and if you've seen our bed is an original bed from when we had it appraised. The guy said that, help me remember, he said that it was 1820 is the oldest that it would be. So he said it was very possibly from before 1820. So that is the bed that we travel with, and we put, I mean, because, you know, like you have to be comfortable when you sleep. So we travel with an original bed, and then we have our portable kitchen, which you may have seen on some of the videos, but then we have all this furniture that we travel with as well to like actually make it look like you're walking into an original apothecary. And so you have 1 day to get this all up, and then you're in costume or clothing for the rest of the weekend. And then on Sunday, you are completely exhausted. And at the end of the show, you have to take all this down and get it back into your van and your trailer. And then you're headed off to the next show, or you're headed off, you know, home. Normally, we can't do 2 shows in one. We can't do more than one show at a time without coming home. And I'm sorry, Patrick is so loud with his like.
Yeah, I need to crank this up.
You know what? I'm gonna take you into a different room right now. Let me take you into a different room. I'll show you here. I'll show you guys. So, hang on. Okay, so this is our stove. So now you've seen it. And then all this subway tile right here is what is gonna go. So like this is in the process of it. It's gonna go all around. Here's some more cabinets. We have like crazy windows. And like our new sink and everything is there. You know, it's just waiting. And then here is
countertops are going to be black granite.
Yeah, and the countertops will be black granite. Okay, I'm moving you guys because Patrick is so loud. He's so loud. So now we're in the dining room. And do you want to see, as long as it's actually cleaned off for once, do you want to see my toilet? So this is my original toilette from 1820, and I thought maybe it was like Edwardian, but then this, I don't know. So either 1820 or Edwardian, but anyway, yeah, so this is really cool. We still have stuff that needs to go in the kitchen that we have not far yet because we don't have everything done. So just to, let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get this set up. So just to kind of recap, so the reason why we can't stay out to more events, we can only do one event at a time, is because we have to come home to get your orders out and to get emails answered. When we are in the middle of nowhere, like in a field, I am so exhausted from that day that I don't have time. I don't have time to answer your guys' emails. So let me see if I can prop it up over here. So emails and orders and things all get blocked up until we can get home. So that's why we can't do more than one show at a time. We have to go home in between every show for you guys. What we need to do is we need to get someone that would stay with the shop here and then get your orders out so we can continue traveling. And that's one of the reasons we haven't gone to the East Coast. I know we've gotten a lot of requests to do Fort Fred, and we would love to do Fort Fred. But it's quite a ways to drive for us. We would have to get another show in between, and then we would have to have someone here to get all your orders out and to be answering emails. So that's why you haven't seen us yet on the East Coast, because we just have to kind of work around those things. As a small kind of mom and pop, growing business, it's just stuff that kind of comes up as the business is growing. So let me see what you guys have to say here. So Lily says, on the subject of 18 mourning, here's an article on 18th century custom mourning. I love the phrase of the Victorians being the world's best mourners. Okay, so she's got a link here. You guys can check it out. There were also these tear bottles that you would collect your tears in, and I don't know if that was like strictly Victorian or they did that in the 18th or 19th century, because again I haven't researched that. But once the tears evaporate from that bottle, then that's how long your mourning period was, or so that's what I've been told. Again, I have not researched that. She says it's late Regency, not Edwardian. If it's from 1820, Victorian reigned to 1837 until 1901. And yeah, so if you guys haven't known, so for the beginning of the 1900s, I still will say, like 1904, I will say Victorian when it's actually Edwardian. It's just, I did that, I started doing that when I was working in the museum in my hometown, because people understood the Victorian time, they did not understand the Edwardian time, and for me the dates were so close that I know I'm gonna get like finger slapped for this. The dates were so close that I would just call it Victorian, because then they would understand kind of the concept of what I was talking about. So that's where that comes in. Hey Amber. Oh no, yeah, you're right, Lily. I did say 1820. So I thought the toilette was probably like an Edwardian toilette, and then I sent him pictures to get it dated, and the gentleman who dated it, he had actually worked in Colonial Williamsburg for quite some time. He dated it as 1820. So hopefully that clears it up. Yeah, so what else? Now that you're like done, now that you're done with your crazy stuff.
Heartbreakingly enough, we can't have hollandaise without butter.
Did you check in the freezer?
Yeah, we don't have any.
I can't believe it. I should have told you that. I knew we were out of butter. Yeah, so, and I absolutely adore it. Now, it's kind of weird that it's in our dining room, that the toilet is in our dining room. Here, I'll let you guys look at it one more time. So this is it. Ignore this stuff. This stuff is just like leftover kitchen stuff that has not gotten put in. But so yeah, so this is it, and I absolutely love it. I use it all the time, even though it is in our dining room. I know, Amber. Amber said she cannot believe that you don't have butter. Amber,
yeah, I know.
Amber disapproves.
Yeah, me too.
So here is, if you can see this, that is my toilette set that I use, and I actually use it quite often. It's really pretty. You know, if I would date this, I would date this like Edwardian. But yeah, so let's see. Oh, where did you find your toilette? So these are Victorian. These are Victorian. I have a whole set. So that's a ring holder. This one right here. Oh, I don't know. Do you guys know what this is? Some of you probably all know. There's little holes. I don't know if you can see the holes. There's little holes up here. This is for your gloves. So you would powder your gloves so you can get your fingers. This would go in your fingers. And you can powder your gloves to get your gloves on. No, that one's not a perfume bottle. That one is for your gloves, so you can powder your gloves, because some of the gloves in like Victorian Edwardian times were super tight, so you would need to put your glove powder in, and it could be scented, and then it would help you get your gloves on. So I found my toilette at a not really local
antique store in
but
Middleton, Wisconsin.
Madison. Oh yeah, Middleton. Yeah, I found it at an antique store in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is like in Madison, for those of you guys who are wondering like where that is. And when we saw it, we just knew that I had to have it. My big hopes was to actually have like videos to show you guys like how I'm doing my hair at this toilet with like videos and all that stuff. And so far it really hasn't happened. Again, like our toilet is in our dining room, which is kind of amusing. It's meant to go upstairs in the master bedroom, but the master bedroom is not done. So eventually...
It's either going to be Downton Abbey or it's going to be English Colonial.
Yeah, it's either going to be Downton Abbey or English Colonial, like the theme of the bedroom, because all of our bedrooms upstairs have different themes. So we're not really sure what we want to do. Every time we think we finally decided, then we think we want to do something else with it. So right now it just holds all my fabric and all my original clothing, which is a lot. I have a lot of original clothing. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else, guys? Where did my coffee go? I lost my coffee.
Yeah, it don't work.
You can't have coffee talk. What did you try to do?
I tried olive oil, but that's not going to work.
Did you hear that, Amber? Patrick tried olive oil to make a hollandaise sauce.
And no.
That's disgusting. I can't even show people that.
That makes me mad. I want butter.
I will. Where do you find your original 18th century clothing, or is it a mishmash of other time periods as well? So I'm trying to think. I only have one original clothing piece from the 18th century. I have some fish shoes or some neckerchiefs, but I don't think they're from the 18th century. Lily says, "Why would you do that? No points for you, sir."
Oh, I know.
And Amber says, "Gross."
I had to try.
I think he was hoping it would just magically fix itself. I do have a lot of 19th century clothing. The one thing that I had no idea about, let me get you guys over here. The one thing I had no idea about was that, like those of you living on the West Coast, the access you have to older historical clothing, like West Coast, like California, yeah. is not as old as what we have here. So I was talking to this one woman. Lily says, don't you live in a historical themed house? Churn some butter, man. That would be nice. That would be nice if we could do that. Yeah, we do live in a historical themed house. If Patrick would actually churn butter, I'd have to tape that so we could get that on tape. So here in Wisconsin, we have access to a lot of old clothing, more so than what, the West Coast does. So like a lot of my collection is like 1820s through, I stop at like the 1950s, just because the 1960s, it's not my thing. But yeah, so, and then, we also have a lot of ethnic pieces here too. So I'm trying to think, and I can't think of like what all those ethnic pieces are called, but, I have some really cool, like what we would call like bodices, but they're actually like German ethnic clothing. So for us in the 18th century,
Norwegian too.
Yeah, Norwegian too, Polish. Yeah, we wouldn't wear those, but like if you're portraying like a specific ethnic group, you would. Lily says, I know I have found a delightful amount of historic clothing at estate sales. Michigan land. Yeah, Michigan is still really good for finding old clothes. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of old corsets, not stays, but I have a lot of old corsets. I know Hannah, I don't know if Hannah's tuning in, but Hannah has been able to see a few of them. I have a couple children's corsets as well. And the thing is, the thing is with my stuff, once we moved into this house, I stopped collecting historical clothing unless it's like absolutely phenomenal and I can't pass it up. And B, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So, I used to kind of have things properly, like at least have, non-acidic tissue paper, non-acidic boxes. I used to kind of do that. And now when we moved, things got thrown into tubs. I mean, nicely placed into tubs. So like corsets, corsets and like just small accessories like that, and even gowns, they're just folded at the moment, which coming from a museum background, I have like a lot of my degrees and stuff are in museum and archaeology and anthropology and history and all that stuff. Like that is unacceptable to store them like that. We have some hanging, but right now I just, we've been so preoccupied with the Apothecary and everything that unfortunately they just sit in tubs and I haven't done much with them. But there's some really cool stuff in there. Mm-hmm. My coffee's almost gone, which means as soon as my coffee's gone, it'll be the end of coffee talk. So what do you guys collect? What do you collect? What degrees did you get? I was thinking of going to school. Did you find it necessary? So I love school. I absolutely love school. If I could be a full-time student 24/7, I would. My biggest, what I wanted to do is I wanted to be either an archaeologist or when I was little, I was going to be an Egyptologist. But then I was going to be an archaeologist, I was going to be a history teacher, or I was going to work into museums, and I was going to be like a education coordinator is what I wanted to do. So yeah, we could do a show and tell at some point. That'd be fun. Maybe like a coffee talk show and tell. So my degrees are in my majors, because I kind of loop them all into one, and then you have like a Bachelor of Arts, or however that works. But my majors are in history, anthropology, museum methods, minors in archaeology, and I was one class away from a major for that. Oh, really? Yes. And I hope before I die to go visit Egypt. That would be my thing to do. And so I think part of the metal detecting comes in with the whole archaeological thing. Like I just want to find some really cool stuff. but yeah, so those are my degrees. And then when I graduated, because it's always kind of scary, like they don't really prep you. You get these degrees, but they don't really like prep you for the next portion of your life, you know. I didn't really know what to do with my life. I had been volunteering at a local historical society, and so they had known what I wanted to do with my museum background. So I was able to work quite closely with that museum for a while. I held various titles. Like actually, there's like two portions. There's like a museum and a historical house. And it was an early, like 1900, 1901. I think they remodeled it in 1907 house. So I was a curator for that house for quite a while. And then I was the, I'm trying to think what titles they gave. And then I was the special events coordinator. I was the assistant education curator. Yeah, all those are bachelor. And okay, so I'm going to give you, without like divulging too much information, I'm going to give you guys a little hint. If you're like madly in love and you're like, oh, I'm just going to get my bachelor's degree and then that's it. Like I'm going to get married and stuff like that. I did that. I stopped at the bachelor degree, even though I wanted to go on. I wanted to get my PhDs and stuff like that. But I stopped to get married because I thought, well, once I got married, like I could go back, and it never happened. So don't stop your degrees to get married. Do your schooling first. Get that all done. Like marriage can wait for the women out there listening who are like at that point in their life. You know, that marriage didn't work out anyway. So, you know, I would love to be able to go back to school and get my degrees. And most people who get degrees in history and things, they don't ever get to use them. You know, they end up working like at the phone station in insurance companies or something like that. So I'm I can't think of what it's called.
Pull that one out of nowhere.
Thanks, Kirsten. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so you know, most people don't get to use their degrees, their historical degrees, and I do because I made myself use it, because I wasn't going to go to college and then get these degrees and not use them. So I was going to either work into a museum. I worked at a art museum for quite a while, who's like known worldwide for this birds and art thing. I did a lot with like volunteers and volunteer coordinator, curator.
Show them your plate.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Patrick wants me to show you my plate here.
A little petite beef fillet.
That's
with,
a lot of food.
With a really yummy sauce and mushrooms.
Oh
and,
my gosh.
2 crab cakes and some spicy mayo. Since I blew the whole hollandaise thing.
That's beautiful, honey. So I think, you know, if you get a degree in history, there's only a few things we think we can use it for. Is, you know, like being a teacher and being a teacher, unless you branch out on your own. So I think the degrees did help me, but I know, right? I'm not even hungry. Don't tell him that. So yeah, I think for a lot of people that I've talked to that were in my classes, they had a really hard time finding a job in the history field. It's a really awesome thing to get a degree in, but unless you are going to start a business based on history, or unless you're going to become a history teacher, you know, I don't know what that degree would be used for.
They're the unsung heroes.
Yeah, I mean, now that I look back at it, I would have still gotten those degrees, but I would have probably taken some, like I would have gotten maybe like a minor in business or something like that, you know, because I didn't know that I was going to be doing this at the time. Like I feel like I'm good at what I do, but you know, I don't have any degrees in business or anything like that. So that's what I would do. Lily says, I love that you've created your own niche to use your degree. Living history is so valuable. That's what I want to do. Yeah, and I really think you should. I mean, I think we're kind of in a really unique position right now, as far as like if you look back maybe 20, 30 years, we didn't have the access to the materials that we have now. And so with all the new access to the primary sources and things, there's so much more that we can learn. And there's a lot of people needed to like bring that out. And, you know, the historical cosmetics and the apothecary is just one niche. I know there's definitely a lot more out there. Like, we don't really know tons about... Yep, and like Hannah, my friend Hannah, we're working with her to bring the historical starches and stuff back. I mean, that's another niche. So there's a lot of niches. Like we need to know more about so many things yet. And so definitely, Lily, go for it. You know, if there's any information that I can give you along the way, I am definitely here to help you. You know, so. Right. And so the one thing I noticed this running from coffee again. The one thing I noticed at a couple years ago, I was walking around at one of the shows or one of the events. Thank you. And there was a book that someone had published, and it was on historical clothing. And it was just like a self-published, you know, it wasn't very thick, but at that time the information was so outdated already that, you know, I felt either A, that book should be taken off the market, and like if they didn't want to revamp it, then it should just go away. Like at that time it was great, it was probably leading research, but now there's so much more information. It either needs to be, you know, revamped or rewritten, and I think that's happening a lot all over. We just know so much more now, and as the years continue, you know, we're gonna know. It's just gonna keep extrapolating. Amber's getting lunch. We're having breakfast, and Amber's getting lunch. So, well, I think I should probably eat all my protein. And so, what's this? This is crab cakes?
No.
Okay. I can't believe we're having like steak for breakfast.
Crab cakes and petite fillet. Well, we could have the poached eggs, but no hollandaise, no poached eggs.
Oh, so I almost got poached eggs, but I didn't because there was no hollandaise. So, poached eggs are my absolute favorite. If you want to get on my good side, make me poached eggs and good coffee, and then good poached eggs, yeah, and I'm there. So I think with that said, we're gonna just close for today. If you guys really enjoyed this, I think this was really fun. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. I myself have so many things that I'm into. You know, the historical idea. The historical concept is just one of the things that I'm into. There's so many things. I'm more than willing to like sit here with you guys and chat, find out what you're doing. You know, you can ask me questions and just have like coffee talk, maybe like once a month or once every 2 months. So if you enjoy this, please let me know. You know, hit the like button, comment below, say yes, you know, more coffee talk videos, and we can work on that. We're gonna also, for those of you who are in Civil War, Hannah, the Meadow Blossom Goods girl, is going to come over, and we are going to do some Civil War hairstyles. I promise you. And so yeah, so other than that, you know, we will be around. I'll be answering emails. We're gonna work on shipping, and getting a few things up. But other than that, Cozumel. That's really weird that came out of my mouth. Kalamazoo is going to be our next show. So definitely see us there, and thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, Lily. Thanks for like hanging out with us through the whole thing. You know, I really appreciate that. That was awesome. And for those of you popping in and out, we appreciate that too. So bye, guys.